ninth session of a regular old tabletop game of Axe. We are mostly using rules that precede the upcoming Imperial imprint. The main exceptions you'll see bring thieves and low-light vision more in line with the revised designs. We further add explorers to the core class list. Let me move this monitor down so I can actually read. And swap their prime requisite to Constitution. However, the world itself has been meticulously built and stocked following the guidelines from the Imperial imprint Judge's Journal. And those familiar with the AX module series set in the Oran Empire may recognize materials from AX1. Let's begin with introductions. Similiricus is an Asconan crusader gifted with divine discernment. He's currently struggling with the realities of carrying out his order's teachings in a foreign and troubled land. He is played by Ross. Sandath is a thief from Cadouin, recently promoted to full member of the party after surviving their second round of lethal setbacks. He is played by Richard. Turpin is an Asconan crusader like Similiricus, though his gifts are those of a physiker and wound knitter rather than a seer. He is played by John. 4 more characters tag along today in the absence of their usual player and hirer. The first of them is the principal, Jogrov. He's a Hansen necromancer with 3 hirelings. Holt, the cartographer, Lind, the Locarnan tradition alchemist, hired last session, and Istvan, who was hired alongside her, also a Locarnan alchemist. For the moment, I will provide a voice for all 3, but in the event of a combat situation, I will ask Richard to pilot Holt and Ross to pilot Lind. The party's primary objective today involves the hire of more henchmen who will be distributed evenly among the 3 players as they are brought on. It is the small craft's fate to watch the list of the galleons and pray for light winds. The players guide a band unlucky enough to live in the border marks of one such skiff, the free port of Bremen, southern of 2 tiny nations unfortunate enough to occupy the land bridge between a pair of imperious giants. These looming empires long kept one another in check until a turbulent succession of the sprawling Sultanate of Hansa to the south emboldened hawks in the northerly kingdom of Locarno to swoop down unopposed on their neighboring bridge state, Ascona. Hansa now musters its armies in reply to thwart Locarno and claim the corridor for its own. Bremen is merely in the way. The Freeport's saving grace is a crescent of savage and untamed wilderness spanning the gap between it and the Hansan border, though the internal borders of Bremen have been severely depleted by the departure of thousands of volunteers going north to fight with Ascona. A month passed before news of Hansa's approach reached the initial party of 4 travelers by Bremen's eastern border, leaving them with precious little time to plan an escape or prepare to make a stand. In the first month and a half of play, they got the lay of the land around 2 of the remote border forts on Bremen's eastern fringes, Ostmark Tor and Sils Bend Tor. The minor settlements under the feeble protection of both forts have been harried by increasingly brazen beastman raids from the forests, so the party began by making tentative forays into the woods on both sides of the border to assess the dangers and possibilities. Forays east revealed the savage bouquet of nature and signs of territorial undead across the border. Those to the west led the group to an ornate brickwork structure beneath a mountainous dome of ebon granite. Beastmen within may have some connection to the raids, so the party has prioritized a return trip as soon as they are able to gather more able-bodied combatants to assist in their deadly explorations. Near the end of last session, the party petitioned the ranking mage of the Ostmark Tor chapter house for the aid of an apprentice in the field. He was willing to offer the services of one until the party emphasized the extreme likelihood of untimely death for hirelings on their next expedition. Upon hearing this, he gleefully volunteered a second. Jogrov hired both the following day, though one, Istvan, was highlighted as a risk both by a warning from his master to Jogrov and by Similiricus's divine insight. The party made plans last session to confront him at camp on the night of the 4th of the Stag, while they travel to Cadouin. We have a small hiccup in the timeline where we didn't resolve that before I finished the transit to Cadouin. So we will pick up that night at camp. What is your plan for Istvan?
As I recall, our intention was to first move Linda away by getting Jagrov to distract them, which works out conveniently, given that they are not, their player is not present today. After that, Turpin had a plan for how to attempt to unearth the root of Istvan's malicious inclinations.
Okay.
I also want to note, just as a reminder, you'll see me looking over here sometimes. I have a screen over here that has the spreadsheet and stuff in Discord. So, see me like looking over here and clicking. That's what I'm doing. I'm looking over here. I'm looking.
So this is happening in the evening as we make camp. Is that right? With Istvan?
I understood that was the plan, but actually you guys do have control over the time if you wanted to do it some other time during that day.
I think during...
just wait, also fine.
As regards this particular matter, I for one consider you the caller, Turpin, and if you, as what you say goes, what you say is deranged, we'll let you know ahead of time.
Also, brother, it is clear to me that there is ill intent. Imagine we're like actually trying to figure out what to do, which is fun. Like, it's clear to me that there's ill intent in this man toward me.
We need to sound him out and find out the nature of his malicious intentions.
I understand that this trust. We have traveled for several days and he hasn't done anything. Just one day. Oh, I thought we were like just shy of the destination.
You are. I gave you an estimate for the round trip at the start, around a week, and as it turns out, the round trip's only about 4 days.
Oh, okay.
Because you guys are traveling pretty light and you have a good horse arrangement, so it's less than 2 full days out. Almost all, but less.
Well, never mind. But anyways...
He has been with you for 2... This is the second night he's been with you.
I agree, Turpin. So, what are your thoughts? How might you try to do this? Have you ever done anything like this before, Brother Turpin?
Well, I have no kind of trivial pieces of gear with me that we could enter into a leisure pursuit. But I was thinking if we could draw him into some kind of a social activity that we could find out if he has some kind of personal animus towards you, or if it's something about your station, your vocation, or just exactly what it is. So we have to engage him in some kind of pastime, I thought. And then...
A test of the soul.
Well, maybe. Yes.
Well, if a test of the soul, then the 3 parts of him that we should test. Those 3 parts of the soul. We should start perhaps with the mind.
So I was thinking some game of chance or something. I mean, I don't have anything.
I do. I have a deck of cards in here somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Granted, if he's wise, he won't trust someone else's deck of cards for more than penny ante-stakes, but penny ante-stakes make for a pleasant evening diversion.
Let's play cards then.
Can see if he gets irritated at you. Maybe we can. Are you experienced? Any of you experienced with card playing?
Well, yes, I have experience in gambling. But if what you're asking is, do I have experience in cheating wildly while gambling? The answer is no.
Oh, that's unfortunate because. Uh,
Yes, I've lost a lot of money to that.
Do you have any ranks in the gambling proficiency?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Is like I don't win at gambling. I just know how to gamble. Like
So the most common card game played in Bremen is played with a 49 card deck. It is a sort of a hand building game, similar to blackjack, where you are trying to get as close as you can to the number 7. Most of the cards have very low numbers on them, without going over.
Well, that's fascinating. I love that.
Well, I don't know anything about it at all, but I'll not hide that fact, and I'll hop in. Who would like to go and invite our friend?
Well, seems to get along with me. Okay, we share some dislikes, and he appreciates my my satire. I'll try and loop him in.
Okay. This is just after you've gotten to camp, right? And set up. All right. The night of the 4th is... Ooh. It's brisk, about 57 degrees. He says about as if that isn't exactly the number that it says on the sheet. It is 57 degrees on average, and it is drizzling.
And it's good fire weather.
So... Drizzling is good fire weather? I'll take your word for it.
Well, you certainly want to have a fire. You need to have
Yeah.
it. It would be hard to get it started, but once you've got it, you'll be glad you have it.
Right. He'll settle in around the fire, along with everyone else, and you're trying to entice him to play cards with you.
Mm-hmm.
so since none of
This
us
is
are
a
really
hit.
card tournaments, huh?
This is actually a hit with him. He's very interested when you suggest a game of cards.
Good. Okay, since none of us is really real savvy, I'm thinking we could kind of play badly so that Silmarillicus looks really good at it, and just talk about it must be the divine, how he's got the favor of his deity, and see if that is what's irritating him, like the fact that he's a holy man, or
Well, that sounds fun.
we can yeah.
All right, so let's do that.
Yeah, and I'll actually agree with all of that, actually, and
Okay.
loudly and verbally so the whole time.
All right.
Would you guys like to play the actual game, or do you want to zip through this as quickly as possible? I can simulate it if you prefer.
How can we play it? I am very curious.
So, yeah, it's a good question. Here's how I'm gonna have it work. It's a push your luck style deal. You're gonna roll a d6, or really you're gonna roll a d6 that is pretending to be a d3. 1 through 4 are going to be a 1. No. 1 through 3 are going to be a 1. 4 and 5 are going to be a 2. 6 is going to be a 3. And you just push your luck and see how close you can get to 7 each hand.
Sure, I'm down for a hand of that. That sounds fun. Probably just the 1 though.
Okay. As you like. You may all buy in. But before you do this, it is typical to set stakes. They don't have to be money. It's common for soldiers especially to play with rations, or even just the good bits of the rations on long trips. And while you guys are pretty well provisioned, you did have a bit of a setback due to the rain.
That's true. We did.
So while I don't think anyone's in any danger of starving, certainly some of the good bits of the food have gone.
Mm-hmm. We've likely had to replace some of it by buying excess inventory from local farmers, which is probably not the good inventory. So there's definitely something to gamble over.
Yeah, the good bread.
Okay. I am excited to get to play this game, my master. Canicus. He never let me play games of chance.
Probably thought you were too favored by the gods.
Well, we are. Those in my order. Sconans. It is our holy duty to seek out evil, and we're very good at it. But anyways, I don't know how to play this card game, but...
Well, allow me to elucidate you, my Skonan friend, and I go into a snappy patter of the rules, insofar as I can do snappy patter with a charisma of 10.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I have a charisma of 12. I can be snappy patter.
He naively is just like, oh, like this, and gets it wrong several times. And
I've just run the numbers on this, and I've decided that this game that I just made up requires one other rule, which is that there are only 2 draws, and you just decide how many cards you want in each draw. Otherwise, I think it's way too easy if you're taking these one at a time for people to hit 7 in multiples.
I like that. All right, that sounds fun.
So you roll however many d6s you want one time, and then you can look at the result, and if you want to go for more, you can.
Okay. Should we just throw our cards down in the dice maze, or how do we do it?
Oh, you can just roll d6s and tell me what your result is. This is pretty low stakes at the moment.
Do I even have that many dice?
So 1 to 3 is 1, 4 to 5 is 2, and 6 is 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and you're trying to get as close as you can to 7 without going over, and you're taking batches of cards at once. So maybe for the first draw you could say I want 4, and then if you look at the result of those and the total is 5, you might say, okay, I want 2 more cards.
Okay, and we're these are 2d3s, right?
I mean, they're
D3.
graded d6s.
Okay.
Yeah, they're graded d6s, weighted d3s, if you will.
Oh, so 1 through 3 is a 1, 5 and 6 is a 2.
4, 5 is a 2.
Okay, in that
4,
case,
5 is a 2, 6 is a 3.
Okay, in that case, I oopsie doopsie.
It's okay.
I lost terribly. How did you do, Selmaricus?
I seem to still be in the game. I've got 4 so far. I think So, if I wanted to, I would take another card. Is that how it works?
You may take as many cards as you please in your second draw.
Okay. Take this card out. Huh. Okay. So now I have a 5.
Mm-hmm. And I, with a total of 3, shall be bearish and pull 3 cards.
He pulls 2 cards on his first hand, looks at them, and asks for 1 more from the dealer.
Okay. I do not have the skill to cleverly cheat, so I simply deal him a card appropriately.
I have
Like I
go ahead.
over, actually. I go over, yeah. I hit 8, so I bust.
Okay.
I bet high, but I...
You bet too high, but I'm sorry, it broke up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. You may need to. Can you try again?
Worse.
The internet is defeating us once
no.
again. Dear viewer, please understand, this is simply the fate that we must undergo dealing with such a broadly distributed gaming group.
The internet was a mistake.
No, it was awesome. We should keep doing it. Make it better. Anyway, John, try again. Say that again.
I just went way...
No.
What did you roll?
I got, like all my numbers were, I went like, I rolled 3d6, and I'm like at 11.
Okay, but what were the individual dice?
A 5, a 3, and a 4.
Oh, nice.
So
your total is 5 so far.
Yeah.
You can draw
more
cards on the second hand if you want. Or you can sit on that 5.
I'm going to sit with the 5.
Okay. Istvan folds his cards forward at the end of the hand. He has a 3, a 2, and a 2. and I actually did roll that. Isn't that fun?
That is fun.
Nice.
Lucky.
I look at them and I say, "Oh, excellent." And whereas Sandath says he's not good at cheating, I have absolutely no conception of cheating, but will openly try to cheat. Openly.
So what are you guys betting for? Just the good rolls?
Just the good rolls, I think. Just
Okay.
the stuff that hasn't gone soggy and then dried off again, and it's then now barely edible.
So this is interesting. I assume you guys don't want to spend a bunch of session time playing a card game that I just made up, but this is one that people do play if you ever have to gamble for something and feel like a wager is an important thing. As old-timey things that used to be way more important than they are go, wagers are right up there with oaths as things that were genuinely taken seriously for a long time up until modernity, and people will absolutely gamble the Millennium Falcon, as it were, if you find the right person at the right time. And I have a number of interesting house rules for the gambling proficiency that I've used to make a game more interesting if you have it a couple ranks.
I will remember this in the future.
Yeah, I had a player who was super into it, and it was such a useless proficiency for a real honest adventurer that we just had to come up with a whole bunch of games. And anyway, it was another campaign. As you guys go around, yeah, go ahead. What's up?
I was gonna say, if you let me, I'll end up just gambling in a tavern for an entire campaign. So
it'd be fine. That could be an interesting campaign if you have any ranks in the gambling proficiency.
Otherwise, not so much.
So, as you guys go around, the dealer passes with each hand.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that he seems a little preoccupied. Like when he's dealing, there are one or two times where he has to be asked twice to give someone a card, or when it's his turn to decide how many cards he wants, and some later hands he seems to have drifted away and has to be reminded that he's supposed to decide whether to hit or stay, as it were.
Istvan?
Yeah.
Istvan.
Okay. Yeah.
As we play...
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I was just thinking maybe Fandath could keep an eye on Istvan's facial features as we make small talk. Cimerilicus and I talk, splitting little theological hairs, and see if that irritates him, and then try other topics and just see, does he have a spasm on his face at any time?
What other topics do you try?
You got any ideas, Sim?
Yeah, I mean, I will openly play the braggart, as I'm also very clearly cheating, and we'll also like make it, what's the word? Imply that everyone else's position in this war and region is inferior, and sort of in a very triumphalist way continually talk about Asconan politics in that way.
Asconans are more enlightened.
Yeah,
more
but I won't just say that. I'll just like I'll make it like, I'll do a heavy implication of that. Yeah.
Okay.
This is not just, yeah.
This might fall flat, given that Ascona was just invaded by an inferior nation.
That makes it even better. Are you kidding? No, it's even better. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't necessarily seem to disagree. He seems pretty misanthropic, actually, and also quite tired. It's not that late. You're not quite to the watches yet, but he looks like he's fading a little. He's got dark circles under his eyes and looks like he hasn't been sleeping right.
Are you
possibly for a long time?
My friend, you look like you're having like the road is treating you poorly. You feeling all right?
I'm well, he'll say. And then he'll cough.
As you say. But you don't look it. You look like a man who's carrying something awful. Perhaps when
He'll
we get
glance to his back, clearly taking this much more literally than any normal person would have, and give you a quizzical look.
perhaps when you
So
make it to
really-
Cadwin, it'll be in your. Perhaps when you. Sorry, Turpin.
Oh, I was just going to suggest maybe you should ask him how his former master treated him.
I gotta say, your former master. What's his face? What was his name again? Whatever. He seemed like he didn't seem like he was treating you guys too well.
You guys never asked his master's name.
Oh, that's just as well. I don't remember it.
He'll say, "Who, Malin?"
Yeah, Malin.
Misguided.
Tell me all about it, Tell me all about it, man.
Oh. He'll look to the Crusaders, and then look back to Istvan, and say, "I wouldn't want to speak too ill. Not under such watchful eyes."
Tell you what. Make a wager on it. Yeah. I win this next hand. I win this next hand. I'll put down 5 silver on this next hand. I win it. You tell me all about your master's dirty laundry. You win it, that money's yours.
He shakes his head. One question if you win.
One question.
I get you a roll if I win.
As you like it.
Okay.
Okay.
He will take 3 cards in the first hand.
I'm going to take 4 in the first hand. Fool that I am.
Okay. And he will take 2 cards in the second hand. Okay.
Draw 7 in the first hand. I take nothing.
Okay. He puts down 3 from his first hand and 3 ones from his first hand and 2 twos from his second. You pulled 7 on your first hand?
My first hand.
Well, I feel like I've got to say, if there's a tiebreaker, the person who just pulls straight into it has to be the winner.
This is why I keep taking absurd risks and dying all the time. The dice keep lying to me and making me think I'm lucky.
Well, you actually were lucky.
Not real,
in this case, he'll have thought that he was lucky, but it turns out not as lucky as you. Okay. You won.
Okay.
He'll get a scowl on his face.
So here's my question. Did your master do something? Is it your master's doing that you're so tired?
Man, you're hitting him with the yes/nos? Okay. Nothing of the sort, he'll say. And grin.
C'est la vie. Well, at least I've got this roll.
No, he was gonna go for another hand. Okay. Oh well. Yeah. So he. Where are you guys planning to go with this?
I've got nothing.
You have established that he's exhausted and that he isn't a cheater.
Yes,
in an obvious way, and that he apparently isn't bothered by Similuricus playing up that he's a cheater.
I lean toward toward Turpin, and I say, brother, I believe he has passed the test of the mind. Perhaps we should provide him when he is rested, so that we know a test of the body. After all, the body is the conduit of purification of the soul, so the saints say. So maybe if he were needing to accomplish some physical feat, we would especially if there were unforeseen obstacles in its path, maybe then we would know.
this is a good time for me to remind you that this is probably the weakest human being you have ever seen.
You're talking about Istvan, weakest human being?
Yeah, he's got a -2 on strength.
Great, even better.
I feel less imperiled.
Oh wait, hang
Yeah.
on. Sorry, I was looking at someone else. He's got a -1 on strength, but it's a low -1.
All right, no, it was Linda we were thinking of. Who was
Even more the weakness of the body to reveal the hidden treasures of the soul.
All right, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna nip off to the men's room. You guys have fun playing Inquisitor.
This is really mean, but I'm having fun. So
I don't understand what you guys are doing at all, but I'm okay. It's go for it. So, what physical challenge are you going to impose upon this man at his bedtime?
no. He needs to rest. It needs to be the next day before we set out.
All right.
I propose a actual a contest of skill, like a spar, and in the course of the spar that we are unfair to him.
Well, it's pretty unfair to ask a mage with a strength penalty to spar to begin with.
Excellent.
So you don't have far to go.
Excellent.
How's his? Does he seem very agile?
No. No, he seems pretty below average in every way that you could imagine. Actually, he's kind of you guys were presented with the dregs. You think that both Linda and Istvan would be completely unfit to serve as soldiers or scouts.
What could he possibly?
Oh, go ahead.
What could he possibly have against you, Sen Marilicus? I mean, I'm really in the dark on this.
I don't know, brother, but maybe I think the best thing is that we attempt to reveal the truth, and by 3 tests, it is said that we can confirm the innocence of a man. So.
Okay. In the morning, over breakfast, you will catch him glancing sidelong more than once to the northeast.
Oh.
As if distracted. His gaze will sort of decouple from whatever normal thing he would be looking at and drift in that direction until he catches himself.
Out of character, do we want to actually win and figure out what's going on, or I'm just having fun? I'm not, because, yeah, I'll see these tests through, though. It's interesting. Or do we want to actually just get to the bottom of this? Is this delaying the gameplay?
No, I want to see where this goes first. I'll
Okay.
let you know when I will be loud. I will whine loudly when I am out of patience.
Yes,
Don't
please,
you worry.
please whine loudly. Okay, in that case, I like nod. Oh, poor guy. I nod toward Turpin. You know, like,
Okay.
and I produce two sticks, two pieces of rattan from the nearby wood.
Yep. Sure. There is no nearby wood. You're next to a lake.
All the better. We'll grab reeds.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, give it to Turpin. Give it to him to Turpin.
And what's the nature of this?
Istvan, wake up, my fellow traveler. Istvan, please wake up.
He woke up to have breakfast, but he's barely, he looks like he's yawning already.
Yeah. You appear quite fatigued, my fellow traveler. Are you well? Are you unwell?
I'm well, they'll say.
I see. Well, It is our custom in our order that in traveling and facing danger, we always have a friendly practice, just in case something were to a vicissitude were to come our way. We'll be ready. We always practice, and we would like you to join us, Istvan. I hand him a reed.
He'll look at his employer, who is not you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know his employer.
Pleadingly.
Joke's on him.
Yeah.
We're in it together.
Well, he'll. This is a really challenging session for us to be absent Jagrov, but okay. You can roll a reaction check to see. Actually, I'm gonna roll it. I'll just tell you the
I feel like Jagrov would just be like.
Jagrov.
Yeah.
Now that's weird. Yeah, he's actually as strangely enthusiastic about this as he was about playing cards yesterday.
Istvan?
Yep.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
He's happy about everything.
I stand back and I say I think you'll find Turpin is skilled. But I stand only about a pace and a half back from the ensuing melee.
Get his
Okay,
ass,
well,
Istvan.
he'll pat you on the back, sort of feebly, and say, "Yes, of course. Exercise is an excellent idea. Brother Similuricus," as he's gathering his wits.
Did he put anything weird on Sim's back?
No, he was just being jovial. It would appear.
Okay, cool. Just checking. It's getting really hard to assume this guy's up to some sort of mischief, because so far he's doing a really good job. Just, if we didn't have supernatural insurance, I'd assume he's just kind of an odd man.
He got a demon. That's obviously. But I don't know. I don't know that my character would know that. So.
I think that if anyone would know that, it would be your character, but you don't have absolute confirmation.
Well, we're doing an inquisitorial exercise anyways to draw out the demon, so it's all coming together. It's all coming together.
Bum, bum, bum.
All right. Well, he's unreasonably enthusiastic. Well, not unreasonably enthusiastic. He's unusually enthusiastic about this for a mage. This is the sort of enthusiasm you would have expected from Zephyr if any of you actually knew him. For this sort of martial exercise. What exactly are you doing? Sparring?
I'm going to flagellate.
Wait, what? Oh, he thought you were sparring. Okay. What the?
There's only a minor distinction between the two, so.
All right, so you're just beating the guy?
I mean, that was
Yes,
the
it
plan.
is good for the soul.
That's good. It's good.
It purges the soul.
Did you guys confer about this in DMs?
No.
Because I feel like I missed the part where you agreed on this. He'll reach out his hand ahead of time to receive one of the rattan sticks, assuming that you're trying to get him to spar.
And then I begin to whip him.
Well, he'll take that as an act of aggression. Are you sure you want to do that?
Well,
You're supposed to flagellate
It is
yourself.
No. Then afterward, you give it back in kind.
Oh, it's like that
it's one of
slap
our-
thing that people do. Yeah.
It's an
Okay,
Ascoli
well
tradition.
he'll take the rattan stick and he'll ineffectually take a whack at you. I mean, it's like he tried. He hit you, but he doesn't have that much punch. He doesn't know how to swing super
And
hard.
it just looks over to Sim. This is cruel, man.
I know. I I'm only a pace and a half back, and I prepare to trip him, but I hold my boot, and I say, and I like look at him. Sandath, something is not right.
Moves like a man plagued.
And after the flagellation is completed, he's just like beaten.
I assume this can't possibly be that many rounds. Like, what do? You hit each other 5 times, you hit each other until someone falls over? Are you trying to knock out this guy? Because that's not going to be in his contract.
No. It's just a sound drubbing or two. I mean, we can move on to the next test.
Yeah, it's only going to take you a couple of hits to really beat the wind out of this guy.
I lean to Turpin. I say, brother, something is ill with this man, but begin to suspect that it is something that afflicts him.
Well, I was hoping to raise a whelp on his shoulder, and it's ire if it fell shell or something.
Yes,
But
as everyone knows, you raise a whelp, and the evil can come forth from it. That's of course the practice. I know. I knew that you were doing that. But
it might seek a more suitable host.
Right. Well, it doesn't seem to have worked. So I think it is time for the final test.
Okay.
Oh, dude, and everybody's quiet. What? You all don't have an idea for the final test? But we've seen his mind, which is frail, I would say, right? We have seen his body, which is frail. It's time to see what afflicts his spirit.
Do you have some process by which this can be ascertained, or are you about to confabulate some novel new mischief to perpetuate on Istvan?
I am an exorcist, and I have theology, and the feature says that if I know something, if there's something about my religion, I would automatically know. So, how, in fact, would an exorcist come to sense, how would they draw an evil out of someone?
Okay, this is going to be tricky. There's a lot of underlying information here that's related
I'm
to
excited
lost
to find
practices.
out that Jagrov is actually the source of all this, and that this is where this leads. But go ahead.
Well, I mean, we have some private messages that go back and forth, me and Father Chris. But, I wouldn't want to reveal anything unduly. You may roll me a d20. You're aiming for an 11 plus to know about something outside of your tradition that is directly related to this.
Okay.
Well,
I'm curious about mine as well, and I do poorly.
Okay. So you don't. That's okay. This is for the knowledge that is external to your tradition. The knowledge within your tradition tells you only that. I'm sorry. I want to make sure I understand your suspicion before I give you some spurious answer. What exactly are you suspecting about this guy, and what data have led you to that suspicion?
Well,
I'm not looking for a super reasoned argument. I just want to know what you're looking for.
So I imagine there's kind of two levels to this. I am probably thinking in terms of some aspects of like medieval. No, this isn't fair to say. I'm thinking in terms of the caricature of medieval theology. So like, much like Turpin said, like if we just beat the guy, then a demon will come up out of the boil and stuff like this kind of stuff. So there's like this level of like we can draw ire or anger or thought out, or whatever the vice is. But now I'm beginning to suspect there's actually something supernatural happening. So now it's more like, actually, let's see if we can draw something out of him. Because this is just a sad, like, tired, fatigued man that is troubled by something and not willing to reveal his secrets. So, yeah, I suspect he has a demon, a spirit. And, I know that Jogrov has one.
Do you?
Yeah, because you mentioned it.
That's troubling. That's very troubling that you know that Jogrov has that.
It is very troubling. You mentioned it.
I mentioned that you saw something on the back of his head.
Right. But I saw no such thing on Istvan, just the ill intent towards me, which I found no evidence of.
Well, you just saw that he lit up. You don't know if it was ill intent toward you. You don't know if this.
You
means
said
that
that it
he
was.
is
You said that specifically ill intent towards you, Similuricus. Like that.
Well, it's that or he's.
So
If we
I want
right
to
off the
clarify.
Okay.
I think that would be a reasonable conclusion to draw, but you should read the Detect Evil spell on page 75 of the book, because I listed a number of other things next to that, and I listed them in the order that they appear in the spell. And evil intentions are the first of the things listed in the spell because it's alphabetical. But what it detects are evil intentions, magic items with evil enchantments, undead, sinkholes of evil, or summoned creatures of chaotic alignment. And then it says, note that normal characters, even if chaotic, are not detected by this spell unless they have actively evil intentions against the caster. Poisons, physical traps, and natural animals are neither good nor evil, so they are not detected by the spell.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what it says.
Yeah, I thought you had specifically said, hey, it's this particular part.
That would be a likely conclusion to draw, but I mean, what are your alternative conclusions? That he's a magic item with an evil enchantment? He's
yes.
Sort of golem?
He's
that
a sinkhole,
undead?
obviously.
That he's a sinkhole of evil, which I don't think is a mobile thing typically.
He's not big
That
enough to be a
sounds like
sinkhole of
Who among us
doomsday
has
device.
not been a sinkhole of evil at one time or another?
That's a different campaign. And he could be a summoned creature of chaotic alignment. He could be a demon himself.
Well,
any of these are possible, but it's up to you to decide what you think is the most possible.
yes.
As a rule, I hate divination because it makes it super hard for the DM to answer questions that they haven't prepared dramatically ahead of time, and you always get caught in some BS. So
it's fine.
I'm letting this rock exactly as the book says it, and I'm going to let you draw whatever conclusion.
All right,
you
let's
want.
do this. Let's do this. My question, original question was actually theology. What is our practice? But I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna flip it, and he is obviously fatigued, and he's not well. So
he's obviously fatigued, but he didn't seem like he wasn't. He didn't seem like he was fading and passing out in the middle of the day or anything like that when you were traveling out here. And it looks like he's been fatigued for a long time. This is a lot more like someone who, I'm sure you've worked with someone like this, who is just constantly sleep deprived, and they just don't get enough rest, even though they're constantly sleep deprived.
All right, I'm committed to I'm committed to the bit anyway. So here, so the test of the spirit. Let me look it up.
Oh my gosh. Let me get out my copy of the Malleus Maleficarum and see what we got.
Actually, I know the answer to this question, and it's actually just really boring. It's paperwork and laws and stuff. That's the actual historical answer. I need like a I need something, like the caricature of that. 40K or something. What did they do?
Oh, God.
What you want to do is you want to burn a lock of his hair and see what sort of color the smoke comes out.
That's what I'm talking about. This guy gets it.
Yeah,
I want to do that right now. Yes.
Okay.
All right, well, wait. If you like, I can try and get you a lock of his hair when he next falls asleep. But sealing that for him while he's awake will prove difficult.
Well, no, let's pull the lid off this right now and say everyone hold him down, and then light a fire, and then take a strand of his hair then and there, force it, and then let's go ahead and Lord, we've already like put this guy through this stuff. Let's do it, and then see what happens with the hair.
This is for your own good,
Yes.
Istvan. Now
Sorry,
hold
yeah.
still.
Sorry, I'm just asking the Axe Discord at what point I have to adjudicate an alignment shift for my character.
Well, I mean, mine. He's kind of on the edge, anyways.
Yeah.
But-
Listen,
Well, this is pretty
isn't-
But this is my
inquisitorial.
job.
this is chaotic behavior. This is stupid behavior. That's different. We can be lawful
Something is
and
afflicting
stupid.
you.
It's traditional. Lawful stupid goes way back.
I'm just trying to do my job.
I think you're doing a great
All
job,
right.
man.
So you
Istvan, hold still.
you restrain this man and cut off a lock of his hair
Just a little.
and burn it. And now we have to look up what normally happens to hair when it burns, because that's what happens to
It
his
smells. It smells. I've caught my beard
Yeah,
on fire
that's
on
true.
accident before.
hair. Wow, that's horrible. I'm sorry to hear that. So it smells like burning hair and burning keratin and oil.
And very
guess,
angry
so.
Istvan, I assume.
Yeah, he looks like he's about to walk, honestly. Like on the road.
fair.
He's
Quite
pretty much
fair.
ready to just turn around and go the other way. He grabs you by the shoulder and he says, I just want to get to the forest. That's what I was hired for. I don't know what all of this is, but I just want to get to the forest. And he's staring at you without blinking as he says this.
Okay, out of
okay.
character, I know what's up.
Yeah.
He's got the same thing that Zephyr had going on with the dreams, but way more so. He's one of the recruits, as it were. However, I think the only person here who would know that is Jagrov, because he's the only person here who was alive.
I think Jagrov would probably just kill him. That's my thought.
I don't
Like, if he thought he was a threat or something, Jagrov would just be like, kill him. Well, I will not kill him. I sympathize, and as he's like just trying to explain that he's just trying to finish his job, I put our hand on his shoulder, and I say, and I just want to see you'll be well.
Okay. So what you
I
will
mean,
notice during this is that a
It's
normal man
obvious
would
that
have
something
been
is wrong with
like
the guy.
really
It's
begging
ob-
you for something. He seems almost impassive, almost like he's just giving you information when he's saying this.
I look at it.
You know, this is someone who has been interrogated, beaten, and now suddenly restrained on the road, and
had his hair ripped out.
Had his hair ripped off. Well, probably cut. I think.
Yeah,
But anyway,
I got a sharp knife.
and all he's doing is grabbing you by the shoulder and telling you what he wants to do.
Yeah.
He's not crying. He's not breaking down, as you would expect a normal person to do of this feeble stature. Perhaps he's just giving you information.
Sus.
What? It's a little maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I've not intended to torment this man, but somehow I feel
Yes, you
like
have.
I did not intend to do that at all.
You literally said that's what your plan was.
No.
Make him crack like a nut.
I didn't say that.
You didn't say it,
We've
but you
repeated.
probably meant it.
No, we've emphasized repeatedly that this is for his good.
We'll
and-
come back
Yeah,
to
but
whatever
also-
his intentions were.
Also,
Look, whatever.
we've resolved not to kill him unless he acts weird, which he's kind of starting to teeter on that, anyways. But look, anyways, I turn to everybody else and I say, I don't know. I can tell you that something ails this man's spirit terribly. I'm at a loss.
Well, we're one
Brother
of the things
chirping.
ailing him. We've been a big pain in his ass all trip.
It's necessary. It's necessary,
I know.
brother.
It's fine.
Yes.
First off, I toss him a gold coin for his troubles.
He'll try to catch it, but he isn't very dexterous, and it'll fall on the ground. He'll pick
Okay,
it up.
this man is not well. We should camp here, and we should try to seek perhaps a runner.
There is a proper temple in Cadouin. There's a man from Ascona who can raise the dead. So you want to go there first and talk to that guy if you're worried about this guy being consumed by dark powers or whatever the heck. And you know what? And I sort of look at him. I don't know what's going on with you, but something's going on with you. And I get why you don't want to talk about it, but I just
He'll shake his head and say, I just think you don't understand what mages do. You're all soldiers. You're all trying to be like dogs together.
What was that word again?
I am a scholar. Be like dogs together.
Huh.
I am a scholar.
I certainly don't understand. It's good that I've kept this fine company for so long. I've not seen any evil sorcery. We've avoided such things, and no, I don't think it's been clear to me. That's been the whole point. So, Istvan, we need to get you help.
Well,
okay. So
he'll feel the bit of the back of his head where you tore the lock of hair from, and he'll, as he says that, but nonetheless he insists.
Okay.
It's okay.
So
it's fine.
Yeah.
At very least, we're gonna get you a decent bed to sleep in when we get to Cadwin.
So how far away from Cadwin? That's a major problem here.
You're like
Istvan,
2/3 of the day.
Can you hear me, Istvan?
Yes.
You're not well. I don't care how you feel. You're not well. We tried to draw out of you whatever your problem is, but I don't trust you any further than I can throw you. So
This guy's been like with you for a
You
day,
make
and
one-
you're trying to play these games with him. I don't know. I'm just gonna let you guys know, this guy's gonna walk, and he's not even going to be in violation of any contract. You haven't given him any money. You haven't given him any gear. All you did was take him outside of the city, like a day's walk along the road. You're like 2 hours from a place where he could go and hang out, and just stay until he figures out his next move. I just want you to know, this isn't like you've got him trapped on a desert island with you.
Oh,
You can just leave.
Let's trap him. Obviously, this is
Oh
the
my
only
God.
solution.
No.
I'm just
That
kidding.
wasn't the point of failure in your plan.
I'm just kidding now. If he wants to walk
No, I
away,
got it.
he can walk away. I thought you said we were further away from Cadwin than that.
Yeah, you guys are you guys are pretty much 2/3 of a day from Cadwin,
I thought-
but you're also only an hour and change walk away from Bauer. He can just turn around and go back there.
Okay. Well.
So if you guys are gonna be beating on him,
I-
please don't be surprised if he just walks off.
I
He just
propose
walks.
there's only the only thing we can do. I agree, Sandeth. We'll take him to our order in Cadwin, and we will find what ails him. We'll help him. This is what we must do. We can't. I will not restrain him or fight him.
I will flagellate him again if need be.
Well, no, I know you will. He's fucking
Well, gladly.
I'll bribe him into
It's-
coming along. Whatever. I'll give him another. I will give him another advance of 10 gold pieces. Put up with our horse shit.
He'll take it.
All right.
All right.
To Cadwin.
Okay. Good morning, gentlemen. The rest of the path, the rest of the road to Cadwin is relatively quiet. Yeah.
I feel like Martin has experienced the. I feel like we've beaten him here tonight.
Some
I
real
had-
nice.
I thought this guy was...
Some real nice at the dinner table nonsense going on here tonight.
This was
I
I was
just
trying
thought this
to
guy
roleplay
was-
this, and all I could think during that entire thing was, if I'm this guy, I just leave.
You could
At some point, you just say, "All right, guys, there's a lot of like open fields in every direction. I'm just gonna go that way."
It's understandable.
I thought he was going to slit Simalarica's throat at some point, and we were ready to just off him anyway. We were just trying to like
Try to help him. Yeah.
do some? I
Well,
don't know.
yeah, but Anyway,
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there. What I think he thought is immaterial until you can detect thoughts. I mean, unless you can detect thoughts. You enjoyed a game of cards. You make it the rest of the way to Catawba. You had an encounter on the bridge, which we resolved last session very briefly, where Sandath greased some palms for you. And that's it. That was the only other excitement you guys had on the road. When you draw close to Cadwin, you're traveling along the river. You can see it on your map. You're traveling north along the river after crossing over. You see on a low hill a broad brown stone fortification. It looks like it's maybe 500-600 feet across, which is maybe not so big for a city, but pretty big for a walled settlement. So this is about the same size as the Ebon Dome, by the way, maybe a little bigger. And outside on the road, you approach a caravanserai that sits before the gate. It's a kind of encircling it on and fading out to the left and right, as one might imagine. As you approach, you are accosted by the smells of blood, sweat, and manure. Whether you like it or not, it reminds Sandath of home.
Mm-hmm. This is the livestock quarter where they do most of the butchery.
Well, let us waste no time. Let's make haste.
No, I'm afraid we're about to waste another moment of time in which I give you a little bit of important information.
Oh.
Here's who you want to talk to. First, there's a chartered guild of mercenaries with a lodge in the city by the name of the Oarsmen. You're going to want to talk to them if you're looking for muscle. If you're looking for mages or for some guidance on whatever it is that Istvan is dealing with, you want to go talk to you're going to go check out the archive. That's the seat of the Mage College. Now, there's the Thieves' Quarter, which is a big chunk of the city. Most of the upright, stout young men, they all went north to defend Ascona. What's left are people like me. So, you probably don't want to go there. And I'll tell you straight up, I'm not going in there, because I've got some people there who I think would love to discuss matters with me at the point of a knife. There's a decent tavern in town, where I did most of my work. You could probably find some buyers there, in the Stone Tankard. Notable for some backroom gambling, so if Istvan wants to go lose more money, that's a good place for it. I, for one, am going to stay outside the city walls at the caravanserai. I'm going to get us some rooms. But, as I've said before, for the duration of my trip here, my name is Cuthbert, you don't know who Sandath is, and I don't know who Sandath is, okay?
Sounds familiar.
A lot of cities are like that, so I'm told.
But you're such an upstanding man.
I am known for standing up in all kinds of exciting places, and one of them is the Stone Tankard. And, alas, I have not always had the opportunities to surround myself with men of the cloth, such as yourselves. Often I've been forced to make do with less morally upright company. It's really a shame.
I see. Well,
I was hoping to turn over a new leaf and leave Cadwin behind me for good, but alas, needs must, and here we are again.
Oh. Well, thank you for the tour and the information, Cuthbert.
Thank you.
Shall we take our ill friend to the hospital?
Richard, roll me a d20.
Oh no!
Do I want to roll very high or very low?
You just want to roll me a d20 and tell me the result.
I rolled a 6. It's one of my favorite numbers. It's divisible by the first 2 prime numbers.
Wow. That's good,
do
right?
Do you have the alertness proficiency?
I sure don't.
He's gone.
No. Oh, you mean our friend? Ish.
Yeah.
Istvan.
Well,
I'm not getting that
Oh.
money back.
dang it. Well, I hope that,
Lind looks relieved.
why do you look relieved? Don't ask. Okay, everyone has secrets, I see. Well.
She'll tell you that it's because he was a real piece of work.
He seemed like he was an ill man. What is it? Perhaps it's... Perhaps I just... Perhaps my... What I thought I knew. Maybe it's different.
I trust Linda's take on him more than I trust any of ours. She's known him for, what, months at least, right?
Well,
Years.
not a problem anymore, right? We spent that
She
entire...
shrugs.
We spent that entire journey worrying about this man. Just more lack of...
I share a brief, long-suffering look with Linda.
She
So-
averts her gaze.
So... I can't... even forgot. Oh, we came here to try to recruit men to bring back to that ferry mound. Is that right?
Yes.
So we should go see the oarsman.
Let's go
then.
get some muscle.
Last time, I made a slight mistake in announcing the market class of this city. I said it was class 3. It's actually class 4. That's still substantially better than what you guys were working with before. You'll have a pretty good chance to buy things like better armor and horses here as well, if those are things that you're interested in. You can see the market class availability in the book. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say about that. That's my bad. I thought it was bigger than it is, but it was right on the line, and it has degraded in recent months in market class as following the sort of mass cleaning out of its stores and exodus of volunteer soldiers north to Ascona, so it's not doing as well as it used to be.
What's the name of the place that has all the muscle?
There are two decent places. If you're looking for like random adventuring sorts, you probably want to go to the Stone Tankard. If you're looking for formal mercenaries, you probably want to look for the Oarsman. There might be some overlap between the two. I don't know.
I don't mean to belabor something that may already be sore for you, Sanda. Cuthbert. But, as you said, with the war on and all, there's probably a certain sort here that's looking for money. You don't suppose it might be the time to bury the hatchet? Resolve old ills.
I think these wounds might be a bit too fresh for that. If it were a year from now, I'd agree. But as it is, I'm rolling some dice coming back to Cadwin at all. But if you can find a suitable hireling, especially someone who's on the outs with the guild, then who am I to say no?
You know such a person, someone who is on the outs?
No. Oh, actually, I do. I know of one such man, a man of great competence and surprising ability. Unfortunately, he's me, so you can only hire me the once.
Ah. Well, sad that is so, that we could not hire you twice or 3 times.
It's true. I'd be worth every penny.
To the tavern, then, my friends.
Okay. So are you heading to the Stone Tankard? Was that what I understood?
I'm down with that. What do you guys think?
I believe they're both going to the Stone Tankard. I will be holding down a room at the Caravanserai.
Oh, right.
Okay. Yeah, you'll be able to find lodging. You'll see an old friend from before your thieving days. This is a pretty small place, by the way. There are only a few thousand residents, which again is huge given the level of technology and time period. But
small enough to significantly complicate any attempt I might make to conceal my identity. We'll put it that way.
You'll find somebody who you came up with who's got a good heart and is willing to put you up in one of their family's tents. And these tents out in the caravanserai actually look pretty permanent. They're well woven on the outside. They tend to have an ornamental outer layer with a ring of geometric embroidery that indicates the family that stays there.
Cool.
It's not super fancy, but they're usually something that gets passed down. It's not like their arms or anything. It's just
the family yurt, as it were.
Exactly. Yeah, and these look like they've been here for a very long time. So you'll be able to find lodging in one of them. Someone will do you a favor. You don't think that they'll do you this favor more than once, but I think it's reasonable for them to do it one time here.
Well, I'll make it worth their time.
Yeah. You suspect that they will sell you out as having been here, but not until after you leave.
That's fair.
You'll know that it's worth a little money to them, but that timing is what makes a friend.
It's true. I respect that. Always get paid twice if you can.
They'll wink. They know when. So, you guys are headed to the Stone Tankard. This is an inn in the southern. Ooh, is it in the south? I don't remember where it was. Give me 1 second. I need to double check on my map.
I think before we have any understanding of the geography, it matters. Then it matters.
Yeah, it does matter. So a lot of the cities are usually laid out in a grid. If they're following the Asconan pattern, they're laid out in a sort of radiating hexagon around a central temple, which are usually hexagonal for, at the moment, unimportant theological reasons, but they are. Bremen cities.
Interested.
We will go over it later.
Yeah.
Not right now.
No.
In general, what you'll know is that Asconan shrines tend to have 6 sides because of a number of things that they represent, and that those are usually the central fortification in Asconan cities. This is not an old Asconan city. This is one that sprung up next to the river, north of where another city used to be. That is now, the ground there is sunken and not suitable for construction. So this isn't that old, but the base of the city is quite old. At the center, there's an old, what do you call it? There's an old plaza that used to not be as big a deal. Used to just be a small trading post, and 2 more sets of walls were built out on the way out. So this is what you're seeing as you walk through the unusually winding streets that follow more closely the pattern of the river than any sort of simple, easy to understand geometric structure. The Stone Tankard is in the south. This is within the Thieves' Quarter. As you go further from the center of the city, past the plaza, down toward where Sandath told you would find this place, you'll see more and more dilapidated, aged timber structures. They look like they've been kept up pretty poorly. You see rotting roofs, splintered walls, barely maintained by patchwork repairs. And the residents look pretty rough too. The two crusaders are getting sidewise glances that start looking a little bit aggressive and usually end once they reach your arms and your shield.
We should just leave. I don't think we're welcome here, Turpin. What do you think?
Well, I find a good blustery front. I mean, look, as soon as they see my mace, they turn away. They respect law and order. So
I see what you mean.
have no worries.
Yeah, you guys are both strong.
This is important.
Yes, I see what you mean. Very well.
You don't have to go too far into this dilapidated thieves' quarter, but you're definitely within its bounds when you reach the stone tankard, which is sort of sitting on the threshold. It's one of the bigger buildings in the city. It looks older. And as you come in, your nostrils are once again assailed with the delightful aromas of sweat, vomit, and drink. This is a real dive, and you are coming in the evening.
Like visible, I grimace visibly and wave the stench from my nose, but it cannot leave.
Behind the bar, you'll see.
What can we?
Mhm. Go ahead.
Once again, we are defeated.
Okay. So I'm gonna hold the place there. I know we gotta. Oh, maybe. Okay. He definitely had a question. So.
Yeah.
As soon as the catches up. Oh, I think he's back. No, he's not back. Dang it. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'll give you the base exposition. This isn't too catalytic.
Okay.
Behind the bar, you'll see a broad-shouldered, sort of squat man with a braided black beard, passing out drinks to patrons who are ordering them down the bar. He looks like he's got some help going out around the room, but he's mostly got his hands full over there. He'll wave you over and motion to a handful of open seats on the far side of the bar.
Let's toss him some coin, but I am curious before we do. John, I think you're back. You had a question. What were you asking about the bar?
How many? How much can we afford? What level of hireling are we looking for?
Well, I see the book here for the market price for people, and I note. Well, I did have it. I moved it, but anyways, I note that a gold piece seems to be quite powerful. So I think that we could really. I think we could throw some money down. I mean, 149 gold pieces. So we could pay people salaries for like months, multiple party adventurers, just with the gold I have. So.
Okay.
And we need a lot, I think, right? Like, we need. Oh. Yeah, I think, right? Like, we need like a lot of people if we can.
Mm-hmm. If we can swing it.
So, anyways, let's put some gold down on the bar. Start with like 3 gold pieces just on the bar. Slide them over and say, we are looking. We're here looking for people who are strong men traveling through especially if you happen to know anyone trustworthy and brave, or perhaps mad enough.
The barkeep will sweep the 3 coins off the bar into his hand, and then extend a hand to shake.
Oh, I give him my.
He's going to nip off to his office. He'll be back in a second,
Ah,
Okay.
or in about 7 minutes.
gotcha.
He
Okay,
encourages
well,
us to go higher without him. He says
Understood.
it's all in planning, honestly.
Very well. I offer him my wrist, and I shake his hand.
Okay, he'll take it and shake firmly. Barto.
Bartle?
Barto.
Yes. I am Smilricus, and this is Brother Turpin. We are servants of the patron, and we have found a thing of great evil that troubles many of the villages in this land. And we have coin for those that could brave such for life and limb.
He'll
Country and
glance
coin as well.
sideways. He'll glance sideways at both of you, and then back down at the bar and say, "So that wasn't for a contract?"
You! I see. What skills have you? Have you armor and weapon?
We must be misunderstanding each other.
Indeed.
Drinks.
Drinks. Yes, I'll take some drinks, and more so if you if you happen to know the sort that we're looking for.
He'll look around. There are maybe 20 or so patrons and a couple of other folks standing around along the walls in front of various doors who maybe are security. It's hard to say. They're not in any sort of uniform, but they do seem to be more alert than the others who are drinking. He'll nod to you and say, "I'll keep an ear to the ground."
Take some time then. Well, it's hard work keeping an ear to the ground, and I slide 2 more gold pieces over, and I say, "We'll be here again."
Okay. As you slide these second 2 pieces over the bar, he will produce 2 granite tankards. Carved granite tankards.
Oh,
Yes.
cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, I can't remember how much it costs to hire someone to like basically, what do you call it? Like a prior, somebody
That
wrote it.
is the advertising costs listed in the book.
5 gold.
No, it varies by market class because
1d6 plus
the
3
amount of
per week.
There you go. So you can roll me a d6, and that plus 3 is however much it's going to cost for him to handle all of this for you here.
Well, then I'll give him another 3 gold pieces.
Okay. This brings the total up to 8.
I'll also revise the spreadsheet. The first time.
All right.
Power of the
He'll-
spreadsheet finished.
He'll smile at you, smile at your companion, give a curt nod, and say, "It's been a pleasure doing business. Do you have any other affairs you'd like settled?"
Actually, there is one thing. Don't tell anyone if you would. We would appreciate some discretion. Just for those that are interested, let them know that the work is dangerous. They will be required. We will travel on foot, and the pay will be good, and they will be treated fairly. I turn to Turpin, and I say out loud, and they will certainly have no more no beatings.
He'll raise an eyebrow at that. Are you oarsmen?
We are not. We're foreigners, travelers, but we found an opportunity to help the people in this land.
And I take it you're looking for men who are also not oarsmen. You'll see him flash a grin.
Is there a reason that we shouldn't employ this company called the Oarsmen?
He'll shake his head a little bit. Says, depends what sort of business you're trying to do, of course.
I would say very legitimate business, and in fact, we have, is my understanding, the blessing of 2 Marcher Lords for the business, for the work that we're up to.
He'll raise an eyebrow again and say, you want me to be an intermediary? That'll be 2 more gold.
Slide 2 gold.
He'll nod and he'll say, you'll find your answers here, and you may find some with Hetzel over at the Oarsman's Lodge. Unusual to ask me to be a go-between, but I appreciate your custom.
I smile, turn toward my companion, and drink on the tankard, uncomfortably.
Okay. It's actually quite good. It's plum wine cut with rose water.
Oh my gosh.
That sounds awesome. Wow.
Man, what is the deal with the, guess what? This is what you get when you get a hole in the wall like this is, well, no, you said it was a good tavern. It's a bad part of town, but a good tavern. Okay.
It's a bad part of town and a good tavern, and you just came in and ordered 6 bottles of Hennessy.
Wow. Nice.
You're paying real money.
In terms of the amount of money that you're throwing around. I mean, you just walked in and started tossing out Benjamins. I mean, he's like, okay, sure, why not?
Given that I'm here in plate mail and have to take my cape and throw it over my shoulder and everything, I do so with tremendous discomfort as I'm getting stared at by the locals, but I try to enjoy it.
Oh, he'll if anyone's giving you a strange look, he'll glare at them.
Nice. Yeah, that's right.
I
got friends here.
As he's making his rounds up and down, you'll see a necklace peek out from under his tunic that is the star of the patron.
His
What?
name was again?
Barto.
Toss the ball over to the other side of the town. I just finished the drink and then, this is a sticky thing. Cuthbert can't join us on these city adventures. So let's keep it simple.
I can probably join you checking out the, what's the name of the guys?
The Oarsmen?
The Oarsmen. Yeah.
Okay, well,
I could just play Holt for a minute.
Whichever, but yeah, it sounds like we ought to go speak with this Hansel. Also,
Hansel.
That sounds like a familiar name. Where have we heard that before?
Hetzel?
Hansel,
And Gretel?
Yeah, no, I felt like I've heard that name though. But go ahead. Sorry.
Well, there's a country to your south called Hansa, but this man's name is Hetzel, which is a little different.
No, it was something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so at this point you are planning to depart the Stone Tankard and head north a little bit to the Oarsman's Lodge.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the Oarsman's Lodge is still south of the main plaza, but it is definitely outside of the Thieves' Quarter. Once you get to where it is, it's clearly the business district. It's surrounded on various sides by shops, and it's a kind of a nice white limestone building, also one of the bigger ones in town, with bronze reinforced cedar doors. One of them is open, as they are open for business.
We just go on in.
Okay.
Got that handshake
You're
vibe.
stopped politely at the entrance by an attendant, a big burly type.
Yeah, look at the big burly hand down on my plate armor. Back up at him.
Well, he's not taller than you, he's just burly.
Okay, I look down at him.
Approximately the same height. Look, whatever.
I look approximately somewhere around my eye level at him.
Yeah. Oscoldens, he says. Welcome.
Thank you.
What's your business?
Yes, we are traveling
there we are.
warriors of
Welcome
the Skonan Order, and we have found something that ails the people here, and we have come put an end to it. And so we need hardy men. Trained professionals would be ideal, with spear and halberd and armor. Travel by foot and put an end to this menace.
Yes. And are you oarsman yourself?
We are not.
Ah. I'm not sure that we can do business.
Forgive us, we're not accustomed, we're foreigners here, not familiar with the customs of this place, but it also seems just so terribly odd to me to be a business for whom you only do business with yourself.
We don't buy and sell so much. We take care of our members, and we connect them with one another.
I see. Well, how does one become an oarsman?
Oh, all you have to do is pay dues and, pass as a citizen.
Let's see. I turn to Cuthbert.
Cuthbert peeks out from under his hat. Says, "What are the dues? I happen to be of native birth."
He'll look you up and down and say, "What were you, floats god?"
Sure, yeah. Let's say that.
Well, for you, 12 gold.
Per month or just one time?
Oh, goodness, per month? Heavens, no. Those are the dues to join, and you pay again annually.
Sure. Like, fork it over.
Wow, okay, you don't even want to know what the benefits are. That's... okay, cool.
I stole all this money. I don't give a shit.
All right. He'll nonetheless lay out the benefits. I won't enumerate them all here, but essentially what they will do is if you are maimed in the course of your service or need to be compensated to, I guess, pay bond for a loss of freedom, like if you need to be ransomed or something, they will basically pay out. It's sort of like a mutual aid society.
Nice.
And they are also, in general, willing to pay out a weregild to a family in the case of your untimely death, though that does require some more paperwork. They don't just pay out to anyone.
Right, naturally.
Okay. And if you are a member, you can stay at their various lodges wherever they can be found for a very low price.
Well, that's good to know.
It's usually less than a tavern.
Well, that will be very useful for Mr. and Mrs. Cuthbert.
Okay. They'll also clarify in the course of this conversation that normally non-members are permitted to post contracts to solicit and hire. However, in times of war, they do not let foreigners post so that they can avoid a circumstance where they end up hiring out Bremeni soldiers to fight other Bremeni soldiers.
Nah, I ain't gonna be any of that today. Don't worry about that.
Right, but that is he does. It becomes clear that is why he was.
That's why the brakes are being pumped.
A little curt with the Asconans. Yeah,
naturally.
it's not because of any normal business practice, but just because doesn't know what direction the war's going to go.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, so what do you want to do here now? You've established yourself. This burly gentleman, will introduce himself as Ludwig.
I wonder how much all these people cost. Decent chunk all around.
Well, you did already pay for advertisement, and you said you wanted some upright people. So if this wasn't clear, the fellow with the stone tankard, Barto, who you gave all that money to, is going to act as your go-between to the Mercenary Guildhouse?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've hired an agent.
Right.
So.
And he'll also try to drum up some other work if there are others. But I mean, you've paid and settled in here as well. Do you have other business that you want to go about here? There are some postings, probably, some open contracts. Do you want to open a contract here that's official that could just sit open?
Not really. Not unless Turpin or Sim have some specific ideas in mind, but nothing from me.
Okay.
What does this condition, this contract, opening of contracts?
He says you offer a reward for the providence of some service, or provision of henchmen, or delivery of supplies. Just a contract. We're quite flexible, so long as what you need is what we provide.
Do you mean having a prolonged attachment here in Cadwin? Is that what you mean?
If you wish, this is possible. Currently, we have contracts open from the Marks Warden of Ostmark. We have a contract hiring for a local company calling themselves the Black Ox Band. Oh, sterling gentlemen. Well, perhaps not gentle, but we need more men like them. The merchants have a contract open looking for some lost men. Things like that. Hunting contracts to take things back into the forest where they have come out. Notices for bands of brigands. And that one you should probably know about. Recently we had a band of defectors. Well, not us, of course. We're quite disciplined. But the City Watch lost a number of men following the exodus north. There's a price on their heads.
I think we got.
Anyway, that sort of business.
Yeah. I think we've got too many irons in the fire as it is.
Just the same, what was the name of the gentleman you referred to, just for future reference?
gentlemen. Which?
The Brotherhood or something or other?
Oh, the Black Ox Band. Yes.
Yes,
Ah,
yes.
brilliant, acclaimed, triumphant. Yes, they've been hiring for shield bearers, squires, and other retainers for quite some time. Only the best.
Okay.
Yes, they say if you have the honor, discipline, and courage to serve with them, I can only recommend it. They are finest. Truly, Cadouin's shining example of heroism. Bernhard
Interesting.
himself
Cuthbert
would have been
says
proud.
nothing.
Have we procured some help?
We have arranged for it to happen, but it will take some days for the process of advertising to bear fruit. People need to become aware of the opportunity. They need to decide to seize the opportunity. We need to consult it with them. Suffice to say, 1 week needs to pass before we get our first crop of potential henchmen.
Yep.
And here,
So do you guys just want to fast forward to that? Do you have any other business?
Yeah, here, gentlemen, I abstain because I won't be in subsequent sessions, so I don't want to. I feel like I've already caused enough trouble, so.
Did you have fun with it though?
I did.
Good. Then that makes me happy.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
I propose that we zip forward to meet our potential new hires.
Okay. Over the course of the week, ooh, I need to roll real quick for something. I need Sandath to roll me a hide in shadows check.
Oh man.
This is related to something that happens on the 6th day.
Okay, I succeed on a 19 plus, so rip Sandath.
No, not necessarily.
12. So
Okay, that's
not
fine.
necessarily rip Sandath, but whatever it is going to happen.
No. This wasn't a save. This was just something else.
Cool.
You'll be fine probably. Yeah, this is not a hidden catastrophe. I just need to check. So, over the course of the week, you will have 4 replies. 2 of them are through the guild house. One of them is 2 of them are through the stone tankard. Barto seems to have organized all of them, although the mercenary guild house is pleased to do business at least with one person who is a member. The first person to reply is a scout, a former scout named Luan.
Okay.
He seems like the sort of person who, let's say, belongs in nature. Not a very good fit for the gentler parts of society, but he looks competent.
I endorse him. I think we should go for that.
Okay.
If no one has any objections, add him to the queue.
Great. Whoever would like to hire him is welcome to roll a reaction check.
If I may, gentlemen, I would like to take first dibs on this man. I will offer the traditional base price plus half share.
Base price plus half
25
share?
No, we were going with quarter share, right? Yeah, quarter share.
We were.
Yeah,
Okay.
1/4 share plus. He's an explorer or a first level guy.
He's an explorer.
Okay,
He's a 0th level scout who will level into an explorer.
All right. In that case, I will offer him 20 GP per month. 20 GP per month plus a quarter share.
Okay. That's insanely generous and will be worth a +2.
All right. Cool. And I'm just gonna roll. Whatever. I should get notes.
2d6 +2.
I abstain from hiring both because
I get a 6.
Okay. You're gonna have to sweeten the pot.
I will give you guys money though. Here, I'll give you 20 gold pieces out of my.
All right.
This is a hiring bonus is usually worth.
Yeah, I was thinking
is usually worth something as well.
5 GP hiring. 5 GP hiring bonus.
Okay, yeah, that'll be worth an additional +1, so that'll get you up to +3, and you can re-roll the check.
Okay.
Added the
5.
20 gold pieces to Sandath's gold.
All right.
He is not interested in working for, what'd you call yourself, Cuthbert?
Cuthbert, yeah.
Another of you is welcome to attempt to hire him, though you will be at -2.
You are welcome to take the shots, gentlemen, but I am down and out. I totally blew it.
How much money have I got to work with? I mean, it's
I don't actually think you have much in the way of money because you haven't been with the party during any of our major revenue moments.
yeah.
But if you want to pick something up, then I can arrange for like a loan at at generous prices.
Well, Cuthbert, I would be. Yes, I would take you up on that.
All right, how much you want?
Well, maybe this guy will listen to a man of the cloth. So, what did you? What figures were you working with?
Oh, I was getting absolutely fleeced. I was offering him 20 gold pieces, plus a quarter share, plus a 5 GP signing bonus. I think the guy has a lot of potential because he's, just seems like the sort. I figure he'll pick up a lot of fighting power on the field if just one good outing. This man will pay for himself. But
All right, I tell you
big
what.
investment.
Similiricus, you were willing to part with some coin towards this venture? Yes.
Yeah. I gave Sandath 20. I can give you 20 as well.
Well, Cuthbert, why don't I take the 20 that Simi gave you earlier, and you can add whatever you want on top of that. I mean, it's your money that I'm using here to lure this guy, so I'm going to use my charms as a very impressive proselytizer,
Go
and
for it. I
add that.
deduct 20 GP from my sheet and toss it on the Turpin sheet.
Okay.
a-
The normal wage for a 0th level is 12 gold per month, so anything above that is considered exceptional pay and will afford you a bonus. Hiring bonuses also afford a bonus, as do larger shares, which 25% is.
So, I mean, I will up the ante if I can here, and
You don't have to up the ante just to make a hiring check,
Mhm.
but you are welcome to.
Oh, you don't? Well,
Yeah, the stuff I was offering was already enough to get +3.
but
You
now
just
I'm
didn't
at
want to work with
-2.
Cuthbert.
Yes, which
Yeah.
will come out
Yes.
to +1. So you'll either hire him or he'll prove to be a completely unreasonable man.
Well, if he joins with us, he'll be joining a good cause, making the world a more pure and peaceful place. So he would have that in addition to all the wealth and glory. So we'll make the offer.
Okay. Same offer?
I'll tell him 25 gold and a quarter share. Now, how can you refuse, young man?
Oh, that'll be worth a net +3. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll me d6 -2 +3 plus your charisma, plus or minus your charisma.
Oh yeah, you've got a charisma modifier. I've forgotten that. The only person in the party who does.
Okay, how much do I roll? 1d6?
2d6.
Okay, I rolled 12.
Like you rolled you rolled boxcars or modified 12.
No, I rolled 2 5s and a 2, so 10 plus 12.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. He's thrilled, and will give Cuthbert a sidewise glance and then shake your hand vigorously and say, "Now that is how you make an offer." He has accepted with Elan, which means that he will be at a morale bonus of +1. Apparently, big fan.
What can I say?
What was his name?
This is Luan.
Oh, this is Luan. Okay.
You shall be Luan to us. Yes.
Okay. The next response is 2 days later, at the Stone Tankard. When you head in, Barto will wave you over and say, "Look at that table over there. You see those two brothers?" And you do see two stout-looking men who have been apparently here for a few rounds. They've been drinking everyone under the table all week. I think what they could use is some work. Keep them from having idle hands.
Are they tough looking? Are they stout?
They don't look unusually stout, but they look like they would have been competent soldiers.
How many?
Not here for this one.
How many do we need total, Cuthbert Cimarilicus? How many are we hoping to get?
My opinion is at least 8. Like at least 8 armed people. A front rank, a second rank, casters. Ranged. Be able to go into rooms. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be playing, but rooms and tunnels and be able to survive against not just one spider, but like more.
So as many of these blokes as we can throw money at is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think so.
We're not picky today.
All right, we'll make an offer. Yes, Cuthbert. I'm dealing with your money here, so.
I'm probably Cuthbert is probably not going to enter this tavern on the grounds that he may be recognized and subsequently stabbed in the throat. But Holt is probably here, and he's like, "Yeah, no, we should probably hire as many guys as we can." After what I saw down there.
We will approach.
You can always ask them to go out and meet you at the Caravanserai if
That's true.
You send up.
Yeah, you can just drag him out to me.
You can ask them to go out to you. But yeah.
Well, we're not going to be picky here, so yeah.
Are you hiring them, or are you planning on bringing them out to Sandath?
Bring them out to me. I've still got lots of cash in my account that I need to burn through.
Yeah, we'll let him look them over.
Okay, so when you approach them at the table, the two sort of swarthy, auburn-haired men will look back to you, reach out a hand. You can see their cheeks are red. They've definitely been drinking. It's not too late in the afternoon, or sorry, not too late in the evening, so it seems they must have gotten a bit of an early start. And they'll introduce themselves. Malin, Oskar. Have you come to drink? Nayland and Oskar. Have you come to drink?
Go ahead, Sim.
It is time for you to set aside your drinks. Strong and swarthy men of Bremen, your country needs you. No, not for the war, no. But probably something more dangerous. But there's good money. I completely ruin it. I got a 9 charisma.
Something even more glorious.
Okay. They say we won't be setting aside the drinks But go on.
Well, there are creatures in the forest, and they have burned villages and roadside hamlets to the ground and terrorized everyone near this place called the Needle Break. And we found their hive, and we need brave and strong men who, if you can survive to the end of our toil, be paid more than handsomely.
They'll sort of nod their heads to the side. I think they sing songs about that, brother. Yes, of course they sing songs about that.
Well, look.
Go
ahead.
It's just nice seeing you having fun. This is great. Keep going.
Doing my best. That's it. Okay, so you wanna ask them to come out to meet Sandath? Is that the plan?
Yes, we have a colleague who will give the final approval. We will let you be introduced and let him make an offer if he thinks it's a good match for our team.
They order another round and they say, I take it you're incorporated. Yes, they'd have to be incorporated. We couldn't work for someone who wasn't.
Oh, incorporated? Incorporated? What does this mean? Do you all know what this means?
Do they not use that word here in Bremen? Perhaps they don't, brother. What we mean is, surely you're a formal group. You're hiring for an army?
Of a sort.
We're an independent outfit. You'd be getting in on the ground floor of an exciting new venture. Do you crave adventure? Do you hunger for riches and fame and that sort of thing, or do you just want to lie about and take your life easy?
That's very good, Brother Turpin.
They're listening. The next round arrives and they down it immediately.
Good gravy.
Are these drunkards and wastrels? I think they are.
Probably. But
Bah.
they could be redeemed.
Well,
If you glance over at Barto in the corner, he'll show his hands and then mime various kinds of work and wink.
I don't know.
What did he
These
mean
guys
by
have-
that?
I think it means these guys have experience. These guys,
Interesting.
There will be more drinks. Don't worry. We understand the penchant for the tavern and the drinking.
You see one of them nod to the other and say, he says more drinks. Yes, I think we could go and meet someone who has more drinks. And they stand up and they'll walk off with you.
All right. To the caravanserai.
All right. Two appreciably inebriated but competent-looking soldiers, former soldiers, will follow you to the caravanserai. You can see that they gather their kit at the door, and they are properly armed with traditional Bremeni bearded axes and small shields. Yeah, I think that's the right one.
Who can blame a soldier for being in his cups now and then?
And they come to the caravanserai. They find Sandath / Cuthbert probably juggling for the amusement of the children. He pauses and he doffs his hat and comes over to the group and says, "And who are these fine young gentlemen?"
One of them burps.
Well nourished. I see you've kept them well nourished.
And
This
they
is
do look
Ma-
well nourished.
Yes.
This is
I'm
Malin and Oscar.
Malin, Oscar, pleased to meet you. I am Cuthbert. Now, here is the summary of the situation as it stands. We have found a ancient ruin, which is riddled with tremendously valuable treasure and dangerous monsters. I am the alumni of our first expedition to it. And in that first expedition, we entered one room and departed one room. And from that singular trip, we acquired enough money to outfit a small army. And we would like to know if you would like to be part of that small army as we return to that ruin and to more thoroughly plunder it of its treasures.
They're sort of nodding along. Brother, how much? How many rounds do you think we could buy with enough money to fund a small army? I don't know, brother. Perhaps we should ask. And they'll both look at you and in unison ask, how much are we talking?
This should be enough to keep you completely drunk for at least a year?
Okay. For my benefit, will you tell me what you're offering them as a wage?
I am offering them, as a pair, this is for both of them, 30 gold pieces a month, plus a half share.
Okay, you can roll a reaction at a devastating +3, because they are drunk out of their minds, and you just promised them enough to stay that way.
All right, I roll a 5, 4, and at +3, that should be accept with a lot.
Oh, great. Okay, well, both of them accept with Elon. Congratulations. You now have two
You drunkards.
well, they were drunk when you met them. We'll see how they are under pressure. Okay. A few days later, you will have your fourth respondent for the week. This is a fairly serious guy who shows up at the mercenary, the guild house, the oarsman's lodge, having heard that there are. Did you guys say where you're going?
Needle break, didn't we?
You said that when you were advertising, or no?
No,
Okay.
not when we were advertising, but
that's totally
did
fine.
say that to Luan.
The advertisements included that there would be marching by foot, several days' journey, and that it would be very dangerous, and that the pay would
Safety
be very
not
good.
guaranteed.
Okay. So when you go to check in at the oarsman's lodge, you will see just past the sort of reception desk, if you will, is a training area, and there have always been a couple of guys training there, or trying to stay in shape, or sparring, or betting very small coins or rations on the outcome of some sparring matches. Usually they're betting against the person who's sparring with the local oarsman or oarmaster. But today, when you come in, you see a bear of a man getting almost what looks to be the better of the aging guildmaster. And after they finish sparring, you're waved over.
You want to take this Lyricus?
I won't, because I won't be here, and also he is also just terrible.
I'm not much better, but okay. Well, you seem to be able to handle yourself fairly well here. May I ask your name?
He reaches out a densely muscled, well-knit forearm for you to grasp.
I grasp his forearm.
When he goes to shake your hand, now you're pretty strong, he nearly lifts you off the ground. He grins widely and says, Alban.
Alban. Ah. That is a very strong name for a very strong man. We have a proposition for you. Do you acquit yourself well in the field with fighting implements besides your bare hands and your bear hugs, I assume?
He'll cock his head slightly to the side. I'm well trained and a disciplined practitioner of the arts. Yes.
Are you referring to martial arts? Do you use your body as a weapon? Is that what you mean?
He'll stand up straight and say, I served as a Marine, and then I came here. I don't want to be near the coast anymore.
It's not his fault that he's the biggest and strongest. It's clear that he no longer even exercises. I'm sorry.
Oh, that was fantastic.
No, we
Never
should
thought
hire
of
this
that.
guy. He looks great.
He does.
We have a hard but rewarding offer for you. We are in search of stout gentlemen such as yourself. You would be definitely far from the coast. You would be in the interior of a dense forest. There's a lot of trouble, a lot of danger, perhaps some beast men for you to wrestle with, if that appeals to you. And you would be living very comfortably because of that.
And where will we be when Hansa comes?
You can be wherever you like. You'll have your pockets lined with gold before the end of the month.
I'm not sure they want gold.
What would you like? What would entice you?
I want to push back the borders. Make a difference before I go.
Aye.
Cimerilicus, should we take this man out to meet Cuthbert?
I think so. I think he is exactly the right, the right fit for the job.
Why don't you explain what awaits him at Caravanserai? Maybe he would be interested in following us.
We are gathering a band, Albin, of, well, it's been quite a motley sort so far. And I'll not lie to you, men have died. But if you're looking for a chance to push back the wilds and give the people of Bremen a chance to live despite this war, we are the people that you should join.
And who will be my officer?
Cuthbert? It would be Cuthbert. Yeah, that's right.
If I hired him, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll introduce you.
Okay.
Lead him to the caravanserai.
Okay. He will gather his kit. This seems to be a heavy infantryman. He's already got chain and a shield and a heavy, long bearded battle axe, which seems to be well maintained.
Oh. Okay.
You'll draw some looks as you're walking through town because this guy is a monster.
Master Cuthbert, Alban.
Good gravy. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, sir.
He's not that tall.
Well, hamming it up a bit. So
He's certainly 6'1".
okay. My friends tell me that you are interested in opportunities to push back the border. I'll tell you this straight up. From what I've seen, the ruin which we are intending to raid against is the foremost source of danger to all the people on the eastern fringe of Bremen territory. And if we remove that danger, a lot of people, will rest easier in the grave. I've met a lot of those people, and a lot of them have fought and died to try and put away this thing we're trying to put away. So if you want to make a difference, this is your chance. And if you want to get paid, this is also your chance. We're offering it for a man of your caliber. We're offering 25 gold pieces a month and a quarter share of the splendor. And I'll tell you what, so far the loot has been pretty good.
He'll survey the rest of your band. You can make your reaction check.
All right.
Pretty good. That was a good pitch.
Thanks. 5 and
Well,
3. So 8 before any modifiers.
Pretty sure that's willing to. No. It's not quite. 8 is still in the try again category, just barely. He'll lean in close and say,
Oh no, that's
I'm
before
not
we
sure.
add. That's before
Oh,
we
that's-
add modifiers for the.
Oh yeah, then he'll accept.
Yeah,
So
okay.
you offered him. This is a 0th level guy. So
Okay. Oh, is he? I offered him way too
Yeah.
much. I
Oh,
offered him
yeah. How much did you offer?
25.
25. Oh yeah, he accepts with a lot. Okay, well great. That is an unusual hiring result. 4 people accepting with Alon, but I'm here for it. You guys need as much help as you can get.
Well done.
Yeah, he makes it clear that it's not that he doesn't care about helping the people, but he's here for the glory.
Oh, you'll get some
There's
of that.
glory on the borders.
Oh my God, Sandath now needs money to live. I have
Wow.
expenses now.
Oh man.
Okay.
Yeah. It is 8:27. We have got 3 minutes. What do we do next?
We're coming up. Yeah, so here's what we're doing. We're coming up on time. You guys have finished your hiring for the week. If you'd like to depart, you can. There will be a number of opportunities for some excitement along the roads. I don't know how long any of it will take to resolve, but I have rolled up a number of pre-rolled encounters, and I just have to determine which and whether any of them actually happen. Do you want to try to return now, or do you want to wrap up your business in town? And the question also is, what does Similiricus plan to do in Ross's absence? Is he planning to set up? There's a temple in town where he could do some work in the meantime, or he can return with the party to Ostermark Tor and wait out there.
Well, this is a big city, right? By comparison, at
Big-ish.
least, right?
Yes.
So
It is relatively big, but I mean, it's like 500 feet diametric. It's pretty much just a castle plus a very wide curtain wall.
but it has one of those hospitals, an Asconan hospital.
It actually has a temple,
Okay.
a proper one with
Yeah, I mean-
a real seat of Asconan. You know, it's like got a minor bishop, as it were.
He'll come back to Turpin and to Cuthbert. He'll say, "Listen, I've done some thinking, and we were trying to draw out whatever was wrong inside of that person, and I think there was just something not right in me the whole time. I regret having done that to that man. I question whether or not I actually saw anything at all. I've been struggling since I saw the things I saw in the mound. And I think, after our conversation, Brother Turpin, it'd be best if I submit myself here to the temple, to its services, until I can draw out whatever is in me. I think that I might be a liability for your quest to investigate whatever is in this mound.
I don't agree. I think that you saw something in this Istvan. I think he was troubled. We did not determine what the root of that was. I think you saw something, but I understand what you're saying, and I think maybe some of this time here to refocus might do you some good. But we do want you back amongst our company. So take your time, rededicate yourself as you need. You will be missed, Mr. Malyricus.
As will each of you, and take out my. I don't know if I'm not allowed to do this. This is okay, but I take out my gold, my purse, my coin purse, and heavy as it is, I thrust it toward Turpin, and I say, "You will put this to better use. You'll have to trust me, Brother Turpin. The things that we saw in that place, you will need many men for."
Well, I don't know what to say. I'm kind of getting my start here, but you should keep some back for yourself. I mean, you will have some needs to attend to.
This heavy gold bag has been one of the things that's weighed me down for a while. Use it to raise men, and as Cuthbert said, give an answer to those that are in the grave.
This will be to the glory of the patron. Bless you.
For the glory of the patron. I don't know. Yeah, I'd shake his hand probably.
Let's see. From there, Similuricus will be able to navigate to the shrine, which is a 2-story white marble structure built around 6 pillars, equally spaced in a circle. The inside is bathed in sunlight and has an open, grated window in the back, from which the first star can always be seen as it crests the night sky. He will be welcomed in by the matriarch Ninach, and he may continue his studies there until such a time as he is needed in the future.
All right.
Cool.
All right. Now, John and Richard mentioned that they might want to take care of some other odds and ends. I don't know what you guys had in mind. I didn't have anything in particular in mind. It's up to you guys how you want to handle that, whether you want to stay here and wait until next session to try to make your return to Ostmark Tor, or whether you want to try to, I don't know, maybe do that trip today, whatever you guys have in mind. But in any case, we are at time for Ross, so we will let him go right on time. And
Ross,
go from there.
I am
Yep.
tremendously happy that I've had so many opportunities to play good games with you.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
great
look
playing
forward
with
to
you
doing
guys.
so again at some point in the future when scheduling permits.
Indeed. I hope you guys will let me back in this this game if I get a chance.
Well, you'll need an invitation and at least 10 unbiased references.
I will lie then.